Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and labouring this word and doctrine, and shalom l'bachaya, meaning peace to the elect. So we've got this article that came out a couple months, or not months, a couple weeks ago. It says Elon Musk's Neuralink brain implant trials later this year. How safe is it? This is by Vishal Kawadka. And that last Kawadka, that sounds like a Hebrew name still. But yeah, it came out a couple months ago, and it's from Gizbot, so it's all the technical sort of side of it, of how they're trying to position this. And this is the sort of how would you say, this is the exciting one. You know, they've got a few ways of marketing marketing it. But this is one of the more upbeat, one of the more fun, one of the more enjoyable reasons. You've got certain ones that are more of a convenience reason. You wouldn't need to take your keys, you need to do that, such as wallet more. You can really see the tech that's being pushed. So Elon Musk has confirmed his startup Neuralink would begin human trials later this year. It says Musk shared this information while responding to a user willing to volunteer for Neuralink's human trials. These trials would involve implanting an AI chip in the human brain, believed to be controlled just by thinking. And these are some fearful times, man. An AI chip, artificial intelligence chip in your human brain. Does that sound sensible? Just on a carnal level? Or to some it really does, man. It says, I was in a car accident 20 years ago and have been paralyzed from the shoulders ever since. I am always available for clinical studies at the place of, and then when you have an at on social media, I'm sure you're aware, but just in case you're not, what's happened? But just in case you're not, that's how you tell if it's someone's profile. Salaki, I can't, there we are. So you see that little thing there, that's also called an at. So this was on social media. It says, Hamoon Kamai tweeted his Twitter. He said, in response, Musk said, Neuralink is working. Oh, that's so frustrating. I might have to go back and go forward. Salaki. Right. I was in a car accident 20 years ago and have been paralyzed from the shoulders ever since. I'm always available for clinical studies at Neuralink. Hamoon Kamai tweeted. In response, Musk said, Neuralink is working super hard to ensure implant safety and is in close communication with the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration. That's how you get certain things passed. It says, if things go well, we might be able to do initial human trials later this year. The company aims to help paralyzed patients interact with their phones or computers with the help of the brain chip. Now, that's another angle they're pushing, the sort of miraculous. See Revelation 13 miracles, a miraculous sort of healing. The gospel on the left hand, the gospel of tech. Sometimes they talk about the good news, the gospel of tech. It's another aspect. And you've also got, of course, how you can just play games. Like you had a monkey playing games with just its head or just its brain. So these are all open ventures. So imagine what else has been developed. Even like an iPhone may be developed long before they start the advertising campaign or whatever. So all of these things are in the forefront. They said the company aims to help paralyzed patients interact with their phones or computers with the help of the brain chip. Neuralink has already started testing the chip on animals and showed the results of the chip used on a pig. Musk also said that the chip was implanted in a monkey's brain and it was able to play video games with its mind. So there you are. So I just made reference to it was able to play video games with its mind. Said how safe is brain implant? Said while the animals have shown promise, implanting AI chip in a human brain, and treating medical conditions could be a more complex task. There could be there could be a few hurdles that this brain reading tech needs to get right before before commercial use. Firstly, the longevity of the brain-computer interface is a huge concern. BCIs use electrodes that tend to degrade over time, meaning Neuralink will have to use long-lasting electrodes to keep the chip running for a long time. Moreover, the surgery to implant the chip in the brain can result in an infection, and you can also read about that in Revelation. We'll get that now. We'll get both of them now. We'll go this one first. In fact, this is Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, "Go your ways to pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi upon the earth." And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worshipped his image. And that's one of the, how would you say, an infection, a noisome and grievous sore. This is Revelation 14, 9 and 10. So then the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." And that's another judgment. Now when we read Revelation 13 and verse 14, "And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." And that beast, the first beast, is in the context of here, is talking about the Roman Empire. They should make an image to the beast. An image, that's the word icon. And that goes into their philosophies, doctrines, and ideologies. The mark is the physical RFID chip, which they want to implant in your forehead or in your hand, your right hand, it says, but it also says, as we just read in 14, about how they will, if anyone has it in his hand. And part of the miracles, where was it? When you go into the word miracles, look at the usage of that. So Revelation 13 and 16, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So this is, it tells you the number of a beast is the number of a man. So beware the beast, man.
Guardian of a terrible secret, that's it, isn't it, Doctor? What I know of man was written long ago, sent down by the greatest ape of all, our Lord Divine. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my coffin. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse. Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn, alone among God's primates. He kills for sport, for lust, for greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death. I found
And who's that? So it said, moreover, the surgery to implant the chip in the brain can result in an infection. The company has provided information about the surgery and implants, but no mentions of clinical considerations. Also, it's unclear whether or not the BCI implants could damage nerve tissue. So rather than the surgery itself, it's talking about the actual implant. Also, it's unclear whether or not the BCI implants could damage nerve tissue. While these infections might not be life-threatening, they will make removal of the chip necessary. Most importantly, a very strong algorithm would be required to decode brain activity. For simple actions such as the movement of arms in different directions, this tech could work well, but its function for more complex brain processes is still questionable. Also, brain activity differs from person to person, even for similar thoughts. Well, it would be safe to say that Elon Musk must have already figured out the hiccups his brain reading tech will experience and what needs to be done to overcome them. That said, Neuralink undeniably a huge leap towards AI human collaboration, but it could take its sweet time to be ready for commercial use. But if he's saying his intention is to get human trials on this week, or he said possibly something like that, he used the hedging as such this. So hedge. It says a hedge is a word or phrase that used. A hedge is a word or phrase used in a sentence to express ambiguity, probability, or indecisiveness about the remainder of the sentence, rather than full accuracy, certainness, or decisiveness. So there you are. So yeah, man, they're trying to push it. They're trying to push it, push it, push it. Well, we'll see what will happen. That's why it says watch as well as pray. Can apply that to now. We need to watch as well as pray. Pray without ceasing. I pray that was edifying. Unto the next one, Lord willing. Giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha Kodash.